Hey guys, this is Joe with OMNIA Guide, and today I'm back with another OMNIA video, and this is gonna be featuring the Lost Chapter episode that we have for Final Fantasy VII character CID coming online today. And we do have his very last stage, Space Dreams Part 14 on hard mode, and we haven't had much challenge, I would have to say, to make most of these videos that I'm making worthwhile for you guys to watch, but I think this one's a little bit special where the difficulty has definitely gone up a few notches, and it really does involve mostly this final boss that we have as a duo. So it is a double boss fight that we do have at Wave 5. It's called the Rampage Machines, and they basically, what they really are capable of doing is this electromagnetic barrier. That's the cool thing that these guys can do to really make this boss fight much harder if you don't take care of it properly. What it does is, it increases brave based on initial brave. That's fine, but this is kind of the big part that you need to watch out for. Is grants HP damage reduction, and this I think goes as far as reducing every HP attack you do, maybe up to a third of the actual damage. So I haven't gotten the calculation around exactly what the percentage is, but it's a huge reduction that you need a debuffer of some kind to, debuffer is fine, but I think more specifically you need a dispeller, something that can get rid of the enemy buffs. And of course, CID being featured on this stage, he does that part by getting rid of one buff at one time, skill usage. But I do have Faris here, who really takes care of all of those things of debuffing, but also applying the dispel as well. So I'm gonna add her as her third party member this time around instead of going with Bart or Quistis. Still have Rinoa and Lenna to try to put in as much damage as I possibly can in this account. And with the support, I think it really is up to your preference this time around. I think anything that can help you basically defeat these guys as fast as you can is what you're wanting. And I think I'm just gonna go with a Quistis support after I pick a better Quistis support option. I think there are much better options than this. So attack 108 on 3. I'm gonna go with this one instead. And before I do, let me show you the score requirement real quick. 100,000 is the minimum requirement that you need to get, but 240,000 is what you're reaching for. That's when you're gonna be able to grab the last piece of those gems and get the rest of the event rewards on par with this Lost Chapter that we have for CID. So let's get right into it and get through these trash waves as fast as we can. I did run through this on my iPhone a couple of times before I logged on to Nox, and hopefully I can run this pretty cleanly on the first try. So I do say this is a little more difficult than a lot of the event EX and also the Lost Chapters that we had in recent times. So it's really good to see that we're not only getting the strong character, but able to make good use of them is, I think, is the most important thing to begin with. So basically all I did was just start mastering the key components of Lenna and Faris. So just opening those skills up, and I'm just gonna have Rinoa just clear the AoE targets here. Just trying to go one at a time. Let's go with Water Whirl on B. And this will also open up the mastery for Water Whirl for Faris, which allows the cannon fire to be a lot more effective. For this one, we're gonna go with rapid fire here. The reason being, so I want to open up the Winddrake arrow as late as I can. You're not gonna have too much chances to go with a lot of Winddrake arrows, so trying to get it as late as you can and trying to work with the turn efficiency is going to be very important in this fight. It can be a very long fight if you don't play this correctly, so just try to make sure you know what you're doing and try to follow some of these key steps I'm about to give you. For this one, we can go with Cannon Fire Plus now that it is mastered with the Water Whirl, the Enfeeblement buff that Faris does have. It does allow the raising the chance of inflicting debuffs, so we did get 3 debuffs this time around, so we'll be very happy with that. We already applied the Winddrake arrow, so we're gonna go with another rapid fire. Actually, we're gonna go with Brave Attack just to limit the wide range shot that these guys will do. Mostly it's not gonna affect too much because it's not really involving any HP attack, but I'm just trying to keep this as cleanly as I can. That's what I'm wanting. Just gonna go with an HP attack with Faris, since we got Max Brave already. And with Lenna now, gonna go with Rapid Fire Plus. Hopefully this kills it off. 24,000 won't get the job done. We're not gonna mind. We're just gonna go with Angel Cannon. Just to get rid of this guy. We're gonna go on the 4th wave, and like I said, trying to save as many Angel Wings, trying to save as many Winddrake Arrows, what you're wanting. But we can use Brave Phoenix now, just to clear this wave in 1 turn and save another turn count. Like I said, we only need 240,000 in this scoreline. And looking at the scoreline, the minimum is 100,000. I was able to get 390,000 in one of my runs that I did with my iPhone, but I'm gonna try to get something close to that as best as I can. And we're on to this 5th wave, and these guys, you're gonna see them buff themselves, and those buffs become very, very dangerous if you don't take care of them properly. So it is a little bit random at the beginning as to which one is going to go with that really stronger buff, which reduces all the HP damage. That is kind of the big buff that you want to keep your eyes on. So we do have Ifrit ready, so we can put in Quistis and summon whenever we want to, but I do want to try to be a little bit more cautious to make sure I can get that done at the right timing. Do have Faris already available to use Cannon Fire, but since both of these guys gonna buff up anyways, I'm gonna wait 1 turn before I actually start using Cannon Fire. Just gonna go and use HP attack on A first. So this guy is actually gonna go with the Electromagnetic Barrier. A is the one that you need to keep your eyes on. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna per se waste a turn. The reason being, so I wanna, you know, chop this down a little bit. So we're not able to shave that down to pretty considerable numbers, and with this one we do already have Winddrake Arrow opened up, so we're gonna go and use Rapid Fire on B this time. So that actually won't break B, but we do have Faris ready to go and use Cannon Fire now. And this will break both of these guys and do the dispel of getting the debuffs also applied there as well. So this is a good opportunity for us to try to gain a little bit more control of this game. And to do that, we already see that there's an AoE indicator for A, and this is actually going to be the time where they're just going to use Matcha Magic, which is a group magic attack and HP attack. And once they're done with that, they're going to go and use Electromagnetic Barrier, whoever does the AoE damage. So knowing that this guy's going to get that really strong buff once again, I'm going to try to bring in Quistis at a proper timing to go and try to get A as far as we can away from the turn count. So let's go and use Rapid Fire again, this time applying on B. And since these guys are currently debuffed at the moment, we're going to try to go and use Ifrit now. We do have Angel Wing Meteor ready to go, so we're gonna go and use that. So we're gonna bring in Quistis in the midst of all of this. Let's go and bring in Angel Wing Meteor for Rinoa to reset the Angel Wing buff once again. And with Faris, we're gonna go and bring in Quistis now and try to get A as far as we can. That's kind of the mission here. So we got 36,000 on that turn count, and we're gonna do Brave Phoenix. We will apply Winddrake Arrow for Quistis to get a little bit stronger on the next turn that we have for Lenna. For this one, gonna focus most of our attacks on A, trying to get this guy down as fast as we can so that he doesn't apply himself those really strong buffs. Go ahead and use Degenerator Whip on A once again. And this will get 45,000 damage and get him very far away from his turn count. Once again, we're going to use Winddrake Arrow onto A, trying to kill this guy as fast as we can. We're not going to worry as much for B. I'm just going to worry mostly about killing A off as fast as we can. And for this one, we do have a turn count where we have to use Homing Whip, so we can use the Gen Whip on the 4th count and we'll get to use Homing Whip again on the 5th turn. So we're gonna use Homing Whip on B, since it is breakable at this current time. So 31,000 damage onto B before. Since we already applied the Wind Drake Arrow, go ahead and go use Rapid Fire Plus once again onto A, trying to get as much damage done to him. With Rinoa, one more turn left on Angel Wing. Just gonna go and use HP attack once again. And this is a chance for us to use a Degen Whip onto A once again. So he's actually pretty close to getting his turn count back. But once again, we're gonna push him back to make sure he doesn't get close. We do have Brave Phoenix once again open. And none of these guys have any strong buffs open for them right now, so it's a good opportunity to try to kill off A before it does anything crazy. So we're going to open up Angel Wing again. And going to try to, once again, continue to pummel down onto A so it doesn't use the AoE attack. And we can kill it before it actually does. Let's go and use Homing Whip onto A once again. And the reason being, so we want to try to kill this guy before he gets his next turn, and I think we'll be able to do that with the help of Rinoa and also Lenna helping out as well. And we do have a pretty low turn count on Rinoa on the Wind Drake Arrow, so we're gonna try to replenish that buff once again. Once again attacking A, and hopefully this next attack will take care of this A and kill it off. So it does. 41,000 was just good enough. And this is when we're gonna be trying to be as aggressive onto B. Now that we're gonna have our Faris back online. So Quistis is done, and Faris will return and just gonna do HP attack. So as long as it's not an AoE damage, mostly it's not gonna be anything dangerous. We can apply the Angel Wing Meteor again. Gonna do a single target damage. 29,000, 27, and 26 around. So that's some good damage coming in from Rinoa there. As long as you don't see any crazy AoE damage coming through, you don't have to worry about a possible HP attack coming from these bosses. Single target damage usually doesn't even consist of all those HP attacks, so you can rest assured when you see a pretty much a single icon on these bosses. Let's go and use HP attack once again for the Rinoa, and Lenna, you can see that this boss is almost dead. I'm gonna use Wind Drake Arrow because I know that I probably won't be able to use both of them now. This boss is almost dead to rights, and we will see him use Electromagnetic Barrier, and we will have Faris on the next turn to take care of this. So for now, we're gonna just use HP attack even though it won't do much damage, and you can see 7,500 is all that it got, so we need to use Cannon Fire to dispel this large buff that it has, and to make it pretty much useless after that point. So you're gonna use Wind Drake Arrow for the one last time, and I think Rinoa's next turn should be able to finish this off, and about 42 turns we were able to get this boss down, and that's about it. So while this could have been a much more difficult of a quest if you didn't handle the electromagnetic barrier buffs that it does to reduce the HP damage that it receives, as long as you take care of that, I think you're gonna be fine with this quest, and 240,000 should be really easy to get as long as you follow that guideline. So I was able to get 368 this time around. 390 was my highest, so still way more than good enough. It's basically 150% of the score that you need to get the maximum amount of rewards for this quest. So yeah, that's it for the Cid Lost chapter, and hope you guys learned a couple of things to at least be aware of, what the final bosses can do. I'm telling you, if you allow the bosses to hold on to the electromagnetic barrier buff that it gives itself, I mean, it just becomes so much harder to clear this in time, and you're gonna be dealing with very low HP attacks, even with Rinoa, even if you with Cloud and all these strong characters that have come out recently, you're gonna be struggling a bunch. So really, you need to bring in a dispeller of some kind. I think that's more important than debuffing actually. So while Lilith is another source of debuffing, she actually doesn't dispel. So you're gonna have to find ways to, you know, push back the buffs as far as you can. But actually that might not even work because it's actually a frame buff as far as I know. So the only option you have right now for this Lost Chapter to be successful in it is to either bring Faris or CID if you did invest in him. So Dispeller is the key definition of this quest for you to find a lot of success, and as long as you have that, this quest should be pretty easy with the other pieces fit in however you want it. I used Rinoa and Lenna this time around just as usual, but with any other strong DPS characters you guys might have with another strong support, it should be well paired up with either Faris if you have her, or CID if you have him built up. I think it's a good chance to go for these. So yep, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to Opera OMNIA Guide, and putting a like on this video would always be appreciated. And I'll continue to make good contents for the global side of Opera OMNIA. I also try to pursue myself into trying more Japan contents as well, not only the gacha stuff, but trying to actually clear a lot of the chaos stages, and that's kind of the short-term goal that I have for this channel for now. So hope you guys stay tuned for that one, and really thank you guys once again for watching this one. And yep, I'll see you guys in the next video. So hope you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you in the next one.